Hello! Greetings, everyone. Oh, people in the chat already. Greetings, Turtle Madness, and greetings, Joshua Janice. Right, you were probably expecting the Lord Coon of Doom. He's not going to be hosting this one. I'm sure he's fine. I'll be instead joined by Miss Team in stepping in for him this once. He's assuredly fine. Absolutely fine. Don't worry about Ichabod. I'm sure he's around here somewhere. And we'll pop in and chat to reassure everyone that he's not being kept somewhere. Steam, I suppose you might want to greet everyone.
Hi. It's been a while since I've been on the channel. How are you guys?
An even longer time since I was last. Greetings, Volpine Deity. How are you doing? How are you doing? Sir Wolfie is also objectively in chat, despite claims otherwise. Do not call 911. They do not appreciate that, and you frankly just don't have anywhere near enough information to give them. So we'll just put that thought out of your minds. I'm sure Ichabod is fine. The rest of us, we'll see. It's been a long time since I've been on the Citrus Quest stream, and well, when I entered that Ichabod was looking for a replacement guest host, I thought I'd volunteer, and we've got a show for you. We have some things to talk about, I guess.
Yeah, we've got I found some interesting articles, so it's interesting. And we've also got movies to rant about, which is, that too. Of course, I've been busy with the O'Hara Foundation, so that's the thing. I am doing terrible at this. Okay. And so Disney resetting Star Wars.
That's right, Miss Steam. If this is true, this is coming from cosmicbook.news, and well, I wouldn't place any major bets on this, but we all hope. Following poor performance and reception of Star Wars: The Last Jedi as well as Han Solo, Disney has placed the movie franchise on hold, and now it is said that they are resetting Star Wars and giving fans time to heal. Yeah, I'm calling bullshit on them one already. They don't care about the fans. They made that pretty damn clear. The news comes as a result of it learned that Disney has now cancelled Lego Star Wars Day, the popular annual event held during the spring at Legoland, California. The Star Wars fan site Rebel Scum authors that Lucasfilm stated 2018 will be the last year they do Lego Star Wars Day. In addition, the site reports an unnamed source at Disney suggests the motivation was refocus expenditure and limit Star Wars exposure to reset the franchise and allow fans to heal. The Lego fan site, The Brick Fan, further offers the reason Disney also cancelled Lego Star Wars Day is to shift focus to the new Lego Movie 2.
It's also said, while there could be a chance for Lego Star Wars Day to return at some point in the future, that is current from it's done for.
Yes, that is aptly noted in chat. If looking for a good reason to explain why they're rebooting the Star Wars series, Rose's character is a pretty good one, but I also agree that the better choice would have been incredibly incompetent purple hair commander lady who can't fire a gun without going pew pew.
So
Tactical genius, everyone. Tactical genius.
I do like if people hate Star Wars or love Star Wars, we can all come together and agree that Asian woman's fucking awful.
Well, now hold on, Steam. People have been saying that just a horrible amount of hatred has been steered toward the poor actress who played that character. People are hating the actress, they say. So we want to stress that no, I don't think Steam, nor myself, well, I can't speak for Steam, you know, taking over the world, that sort of thing. I insist that no one sane wants to take over the world. No one wants that hassle. You have to be power tripping mad in some regard. But moving on from that, no one should hate the actress. They just got paid. There's no reason to begrudge them that. Hate the character, not the actor. Very important distinction, which, of course, some idiots on the internet never quite make. Let's see.
Movies are real life, apparently.
Let's finish this up. It's also said that while there could be a chance for LEGO Star Wars Day to return at some point in the future, that in its current form, it's done for. News of Disney cancelling LEGO Star Wars Day and potentially resetting the franchise doesn't come as that much of a surprise, which is due to the huge failure of Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi.
In the wake of The Last Jedi failure, which subsequently saw the Han Solo movie as the worst performing Star Wars movie ever, I just want to say the Christmas Star Wars special. What was I? Disney CEO Bob Iger said the Star Wars movies will be slowed down, and it's also a new movie franchise throughout thought to be from Rian Johnson has been placed on the back burner or cancelled. Sorry. While the films are on hold, Disney is now focusing on Star Wars TV shows for the up-and-coming Disney streaming app, which includes the Jon Favreau, the Mandalorian series, and the Rogue One prequel starring Diego Luna reprising the role of Andor. Oh, that hurt my head. Ow. Star Wars episode redacted gets released in December 2019 with no new films in active development. Sorry for my bad reading.
No worries. Again, there's really no reason to assume this knowledge is accurate. This could just be clickbait bullshit from a hack source, like most so-called journalism these days. But I, for one, want to believe that they have learned something. They're going to go back, take a long, hard look, and maybe at some point see to it that the valuable IP gets into the hands of actual creatives rather than ideologues with delusions.
Ideologues with delusions. They're always great people.
Yes, and we know that they're all the best comedy and stories are made by ideologues, right? Propaganda. People love propaganda. That's why it's been outlawed a few times. Because it's just that great. Meanwhile, some chat is going on to having some sympathy for Rose's actress. I too would have happily taken a role in Star Wars Last Jedi without even bothering to read the script. I would have cashed in. And if the movie hadn't been a disaster, as Turtle Madness points out, well, they would have probably done quite well. Instead, they get to be used as the scapegoat, the poor fragile woman who can't handle the hate from the evil bastards online who don't like this movie because they're misogynists. Which is quite the acting role, but it's not going to pay quite as well, and probably isn't going to lead to more work in the future. Oh, greetings. Let's see. Anyone who I failed to greet?
Hello, Vulcan Deity. Hello, Total Madness. Hello, Joshua Janes. Hello, Flying Falcon. And hello, Sir Wolfie. Uh, but yeah, so there's other articles, which I will bring up as soon as my computer decides to be good.
Hmm.
Mm.
Carry on. Thing is, they clearly wanted to milk it from the get-go, the moment Rogue One, a movie I don't hate but don't necessarily like, a pointless science story was announced. Yes, definitely. The case. I still don't understand the logic between Rogue One. Again, they were probably trying to be edgy and original, but they made toys
They made
for characters
they made
they
toys.
killed off. Toys that
What?
there's no story you can play with them and expect to see some echo of that on screen ever. They killed them off hard.
It's just like, oh yeah, just it's fine, it's fine. It's like,
But I have to say my favorite misstep on that point was the Star Wars Rogue One breakfast cereal. Start your day off right with a memory of a horrible, horrible disaster in which all of your favorite characters died.
the problem is,
Just the sort of thing I want to give to my children.
Star Wars franchise has always been hoard out. I'm afraid it's this point it's just it's expected, which
Yeah.
is a shame.
Well, there's one major accomplishment of the new Star Wars movies that really must be addressed. Something that must be grudgingly gifted to them as an achievement far beyond what anyone would have expected of the Star Wars films in the modern age. They managed to retroactively make the prequels look not that bad.
Oh dear.
That shouldn't have been
That's
possible, but they did it. And then you remember Jar Jar, and then you're reminded that
oh
they even screwed that up. I mean, someone went through a lot of trouble to think up a plot that actually made Jar Jar tolerable, that he was, in fact, a Sith in disguise. That would have been great. Instead, we got Sith Lord, some guy who died, and we didn't learn anything about him, but it's alright because they didn't really matter anyway.
yeah, it's kind of ow. I I remember Jar Jar. I think Jar Jar scared me as a child. He was supposed to be a comic relief character, but he gave me nightmares.
No, he didn't give me nightmares, but he'd fill me with an almost unquenchable lust for Gungan death.
Hmm. That sounds about right.
I, I was filled with just a searing, burning hatred for Jar Jar and his entire species at length for a very long time when the prequels first oozed out of Lucas's posterior.
Man. That just gave me a horrible visual in my mind. That was just mean. It-
Possibly. But hey, he can be, Lucas can afford to be a bit smug now. And we all know he could have done it a bit worse. And some people, yes, like Total Madness here, never hated Jar Jar. That's fine. I'm not going to hold that against you. I've said this on Twitter on many other occasions. If you like something I don't like, we're okay. If I like something you don't like, we're okay. On my end. If you're getting upset, then we probably didn't need to be friends anyway. And greetings, Optimus J the Magic Robot. And right.
Okay. So I found a thing which is husband who saved wife from
Steam.
suicide. Oh,
On screen.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Stop
Uh,
apologizing.
I'm not in character.
Still stop apologizing on screen. There we go.
Okay, better?
Momentarily. There we go. Husband who saved wife from suicide is prosecuted for assault. Oh. Okay. Would you like to start this one off, Steam? It is yours, after all.
Okay. Okay. A husband who prevented his wife
Oh,
from...
greetings, Jinx, by the way. Sorry, carry on.
Oh, that's fine. A husband who's prevented his wife from taking her life ended up in court. Graham Page discovered his wife, Alexandria, had written a suicide note. When he saw her intoxicated in a car, he pulled her out and dragged her to safety. But the incident was witnessed and reported to police, and he was charged with assault. Bristol magistrates heard. There's a video there, which I don't think we need that. Magistrates handed him a 12-month community order comprising of 100 hours unpaid work. He was told to pay £85 victim surcharge and £85 costs. After the hearing, Page told Bristol Live, "I'm a little bit gutted. Obviously it got way out of hand, and it was a minor thing. It was a difficult situation. I did what was necessary at the time, and I wish it had been different. I don't know if I'd do exactly the same."
So, next time around, when his wife attempts suicide, he might just hesitate because he doesn't want to be hauled in on assault charges for not saving her from suicide gently enough.
Oh yeah, it's great. I like to know I learn from my mistakes, but to be honest, I think it has been a bit harsh that I've got a criminal record for this. Michael Collins, prosecuting, said Page pulled his wife from her car and conceded he cuffed her to the head when she was hysterical.
Vodka doesn't tickle me. I wash it regularly.
Mm-hmm.
Even smell. The tickling when it rains.
After she fell to the ground, he dragged her by the clothes to get her home, the court heard. Mike Wernter, what's all these names? Defending, said police spoke to Miss Page after the incident and she had no facial injuries. Mr. Wernter said a suicide note was left by her at her address.
Who's pressing the charges on this one, or is it just a matter of state prosecution?
I think it might be state prosecution. I'm not entirely sure.
This clearly concerned my client when he saw her in the vehicle. Mr. Winter said his client could have justified in pulling her from the car to prevent her from drink driving and seriously harming herself. But he accepted Page had no lawful excuse in cuffing her or dragging her. Mr. Winter said the couple had been married for coming up to 4 years and were working on their relationship. Apparently her was with a end of it was being worked on with massive amounts of alcohol. Not usually the go-to approach for fixing up a marriage.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think they should probably just go for divorce, because if after 4 years of marriage someone's actively trying to murder themselves to get away from you, it's probably not going to be easily settled in just couples therapy. Just thinking.
She might have wanted to commit suicide for different reasons, but I think it's crazy. He saved this woman's life and he's getting punished for it. Like, oh, okay.
Well,
we'll just
yes, because he went too far, and yes, if he was cuffing her at any point, maybe it didn't help. But hey, this is the fault of toxic masculinity, you know. And of course, the media. The media did it. How many old movies have you seen where a overreacting or emotionally deranged woman is brought to her senses with a well-timed slap across the face?
Oh yeah, sometimes I beg to be slapped across the face.
Stop being hysterical! Movies did this. I'm sure some measure the British government is on top of that. And will soon outlaw old films.
But yeah, no, I would love someone to slap me across the face sometimes, but I think that's more of a sexual kink.
Generally speaking.
But yeah, so it's illegal to commit suicide in England, and on top of that, it's legal to save people from suicide, apparently. So
well, apparently it's legal to save them, but you have to be very gentle about it. And
you know, suicidal people who, you know, was in the middle of committing suicide and you stop them are really dangerous, right?
yes, you think you would get a pass for, you know, saving her life, but well, that's bureaucracy for you when it's out of whack. I had another idea. I wonder if we should interrupt with it quite yet, or it's too soon. You, as my co-host on this guest host, you can perhaps inform me. But I was wondering if anyone had any recommendations of what they felt of the worst movies, which we could pop into IMDb here, pull up a summary, and then Steve and I can give our opinions on the movie if we saw it, and also, even if we didn't. We're going to be at least as accurate as any professional critic who hasn't been paid yet to have an opinion one way or the other.
Oh, and hello, Butternut.
Oh, indeed, greetings, Butternut, and again, Jinxie, and anyone else who I somehow managed to miss.
I'm very judgmental on movies, so this is gonna be great.
As I understand it, Sir Wolfie here already had a suggestion in the form of zombievers. We can watch this trailer real quick, just to give you an idea of what we might be commenting on.
I've actually seen zombievers.
This is all I've seen, and it's quite
enough. Home sweet home. Make it rain, bitches.
What is that? Looks like a beaver dam. Let's go take a look.
You girls from out of town?
We're staying over there in my cousin's place. We were looking for beavers.
Well, hell, ain't we all?
Well, I've had enough excitement for one day.
90s version of Godzilla. Oh, yes, we should touch on that one next.
Someone in there? There's a beaver in the bathroom. Kill it! Yuck. Can we please go swimming now?
But,
next level of zombies, everyone.
Ever
Beavers.
occurred to any of you that there might be more beavers?
I saw this movie because an unnamed individual tried to convince me that this was a good movie. And
Blood?
Never seen a real beaver before.
it was not a good movie.
Maybe you should try going down on me once.
And it's not even fun either.
We cannot
It's boring.
turn against each other right now. That is exactly what the beavers would want.
Well, it better have some boobs going for it, but clearly they didn't invest in the writing.
We sure as hell can't get through on foot.
Well, the thing is, the concept's so stupid that you kind of want to see it, but the thing is, the trailer kind of shows all the best parts. It's mostly people just, you know, it's mostly people just talking and hiding.
Yeah, that was the entire Monster Effects budget right there.
Yep.
Hey, fun fact about the 90s version of Godzilla. Did you all know that the 90s version of Godzilla is canon in Godzilla lore?
Oh no.
That's right, folks. Due to the way the IP was handled by the idiots who made that movie, Toho got to keep the character, which they renamed Zilla and immediately dictated is not Godzilla, but is in fact a misclassified kaiju, which Godzilla killed, in the comics at least.
That's just...
So, on the bright side, if you can find those comics, Godzilla kills that thing. That regurgitated, slightly tweaked T-Rex lifted straight from Jurassic Park. Then
No, the
resold
last
as a asexually producing misery lizard.
The last time you were talking about Godzilla, you were drunk and you were having a full-on angry rant about Godzilla. About a Godzilla movie.
Well, it's possible. I was maybe complaining just a bit about the whole, what was it? The Netflix special.
It was really funny. I loved it.
Yes, let's read this summary of Godzilla. Yes, Godzilla 1998, just before we hit 2000s. A giant reptilian monster surfaces, leaving destruction in its wake as it strides into New York City. To stop it, an earthworm scientist, his reporter, ex-girlfriend, and other unlikely heroes team up to save their city. Storyline. Following the French atomic bomb tests in the South Pacific, an unknown creature is spotted passing eastwards the Panama Canal. Scientist Nico Tatopoulos is called in to investigate the matter, and he quickly arrives at the conclusion that a giant irradiated lizard has been created by the explosions from earthworms.
The summary just hurts.
Godzilla then makes its way north, landing at Manhattan, begin wreaking havoc in the big city. Even with the combined force of the U.S. military to fight the monster, will it be enough to save the people of New York?
You look like you're gonna blow a blood vessel.
I'm not, but that could be a bit merciful. It's certainly taken my mind off of other trials in my... Well, the important thing is that it's dead. It's dead. I would have insisted it's better to just acknowledge, not make it canon. But hey, you know, if they just made it canon to call it Zilla, call it a misclassified kaiju, and have Godzilla kill it repeatedly, then maybe I can grudgingly let that slide. But this did come up quite recently, as it happens, because I got into an argument on Twitter over it. Well, not this precisely. They were arguing that Godzilla is a superhero, but that only qualifies if you draw from the superhero overclass that includes supervillains and anti-heroes.
Supervillains and anti-heroes and...
Look, Godzilla makes a great anti-hero, let's be fair. Fine. Not a superhero. Maybe in comics. I don't know, I haven't read all the comics. Maybe then he's found some reason to save the little pink ants that occasionally crawl across his territory. But generally speaking, Godzilla has, in the movies, never really cared about humanity. I mean, his sole saving grace on there is that he sees us beneath contempt to attack. He's there to be Strongu, biggest fighter, strong beast #1. Which is fine, because at least that results in him murdering the other giant monster. Oh, and apparently he's also great at basketball. Let's see, catch one chat.
What?
That's a lot of fish. Oh.
Wait, what? Oh, Godzilla is good at basketball?
And apparently, I believe he can surf as well. Although, that's a hell of a surfboard.
Where the hell? You have to show me these movies. They sound insane.
Oh yes, well this wouldn't be the only example of something being quite insane. Let's see. Apparently they're gearing up to have another rematch between Godzilla and King Kong. I wonder if IMDb has the original.
Vulcan Deity said there was a comic with a giant Michael Jordan.
Here we go. Classic King Kong, ladies and gentlemen.
King Kong, invincible gorilla god of a jungle paradise, destroyer of cities. Godzilla, indestructible behemoth from prehistoric time, released from an icy tomb to pulverize a panic-stricken world. Now, for the first time, in one awe-inspiring motion picture, they meet the mightiest monsters of the ages, King Kong, Godzilla, locked in the most titanic battle of all time.
So, spoiler alert, King Kong won, which I find absolutely hilarious, and if they decide to have a rematch, I hope goes very differently, because for the sake of this movie, they had to either shrink Godzilla way the hell down, or boof up King Kong, make him much bigger. I mean, King Kong's famous for climbing the Empire State Building. Godzilla is famous for using it to pick his teeth.
Yeah, that's like it's like a deadly godly monster or a giant monkey.
Yes. See, and that's just it. King Kong is impressive as a giant monkey, no doubt, but Godzilla has more cheaty superpowers than, well, most superheroes. He's got regeneration, immunity to heat. Of course, let's not forget the nuclear breath. The nuclear fire breath. Pretty big deal, that. I don't think Kong traditionally has a counter. Certainly not the one you see in Skull Island.
He has monkey rape. That's what I got from the King Kong movies. Monkey rape.
Well, that's certainly very edgy, but I can't see them going that route in 2019 or 2020 on, unless we see a very interesting paradigm shift in modern culture. Now let's see, there's coming to Michael Jordan. They didn't make it awkward, edgy, and funny. Oh yes, on that movie, by the way, Godzilla loses to King Kong, but mostly because King Kong gets struck by lightning, and somehow that revives him and makes him more powerful. Apparently, that King Kong operated much the same way Iron Man did. Weird. Requisite for a bad film, Die Hard 5.
Die Hard 5? I'm sure I saw Die Hard 1, to be honest.
Ah, A Good Day to Die Hard. I think I've seen this one. Maybe. John McClane travels to Rush to help out his seemingly wayward son Jack, only to discover that Jack is a CIA operative working undercover, causing the father and son team to team up against underworld forces. No, I don't think I have seen this one. I saw the previous, which I believe was Live Free or Die Hard, and that was bad enough. Well, let's see how the trailer looks, shall we?
It's gonna be bloody awful, isn't it?
They didn't even try to put a narrative that put this together, did they?
I
Do you know
don't
what I hate about the
think
Americans?
so.
Everything. Especially cowboys.
American?
Yeah, New York.
Are you cop?
Yeah. It's gonna be loud. How'd you know I was a cop?
You don't look like a lawyer.
Wait, was Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Jack! Dad?
Someone's gonna yell at
This is
me,
what
aren't
you've been doing? 007 of Plainfield, New Jersey.
Relax, you're safe now.
I see what this is. Okay, well, there are a few things that are very clearly wrong about this movie. One, they're trying to pass the torch from Bruce Willis to, whoever this guy was.
Someone's gotta stop him.
In fact, I can't remember their name at all. It's probably not a good sign as to how well they did. And second of all, they're implying a CIA agent is a good guy.
Whoa. What is this, a pirate gun?
I'm guessing that was a hard sell to the audience.
Right?
Probably. I'm very confused.
I guess you've done this before. Don't encourage him.
Me and my boy here, we're gonna put a whooping on you.
Really?
Really? It's crazy. A little bit.
Yeah, this is pretty awful. Die Hard 1, great. No one's going to argue about that, except for not as Christmas movie. As opposed to just a movie that takes place at Christmas.
Trouble, or does it always find you? I still ask myself the same question.
Ah, that makes more sense.
Experience it in IMAX. I remember when they were pushing that. Oh, no one wanted to see it in IMAX. The CIA is humbug, as is all of government. Maybe. Starting at 3, they won't Xmas. Oh! So there was a running theme until 3. Huh. Third had Samuel L. Jackson. That's a big deal. Although if I want to see Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis, I'd probably just rewatch The Last Boy Scout. Excellent film. That was Samuel L. Jackson, right? Let's confirm that. We're at IMDb anyway, right?
I mean, I honestly don't know. I don't really watch a lot of. I watch movies, just not the Hollywood movies.
And welcome back, Jay the Magic Robot.
Hi, Jay.
This ain't no game, Flash.
In a world of gridiron heroes, where a handful of men are corrupting the sport.
You're talking about billions. That's 9 zeros, son.
It's not whether you win or lose, but how you play the odds.
So you're gonna bribe some senators to legalize gambling?
Legalize sports gambling.
Joe Hallenbeck's a private detective who's run out of luck.
If you touch me again, I'll kill you. 2 for 2. Told you.
Jimmy Dix.
I like Chris.
Is the next quarterback who was thrown out of football.
Another tragic tale of wasted youth. You're nobody.
Oh, do I have that wrong?
Don't tell
I still have it wrong, actually.
They've got one shot.
My girl's dead. The guys that did it up at Spago's.
Yes, Jay the Magic Robot, you're right. I was wrong. I misremembered things. And that will probably be some briefings at some point in the future.
Taking up a U.S. senator is a pretty ballsy move.
You said it, Joe boy.
I don't think I've ever
That's
seen
why
the
we're
last
gonna
Boy
play
Scout.
I'm sure there was a movie
murder.
with Bruce Willis and
We're going to a ball game.
Samuel L.
Probably, yes. Hollywood.
This one, I would like to hear you scream in pain. Play some rap music. That was a bomb? And that or a hell of a factory recall.
Bruce Willis.
But he said maybe spiders too.
The Last Boy Scout.
Danger's my middle name. Mine's Cornelius. Tell anybody I'll kill you.
Actually, that really wasn't a bad film. Let's see, where were we? Spiders, maybe Spiders 2. For horror comedy, got Creepshow 3. I think I've seen Creepshow 3. Let's see if I'm right.
Has anyone ever seen all 3 movies of the Human Centipede?
I got around to seeing the first one. You would think that'd be a big deal with me. Certainly it's very, very mad science, but no.
It's pretty, like, the first movie is kind of funny. The second movie is okay. So I love the director, and here's the reason why. He made the second movie because people were like, oh well, what happens if some crazy person actually came up with these ideas? And the director went, I wonder. So he made a movie about like a deranged guy who made his own his own human centipede. And that was the second one, and it was all like shock value and all that stuff. Because keep in mind, early 2000s. And my favorite one is actually the third movie because people were like, oh, what if they made it like a legal justice system? Like they like, you know, somehow made it into like prisons and all that stuff. And so they did that, and they got this crazy scientist guy, and the acting and everything's just so over the top and so disgusting. It's hilarious, and it's still one of my favorite B-list B movies.
My favorite B movies is Dungeons and Dragons: The Book of Eternal Darkness. I'll bring that one up in a bit, but apparently I've never seen Creepshow 3 because I don't remember these segments at all. I remember Creepshow 2 as being fairly good though. Let's see, plot synopsis. Alice is an annoying teenager that does not like the neighborhood where she lives, where her father uses a universal remote control developed by Professor Dayton. He moves to other dimensions with other families, and when she returns, she's transformed into a rabbit and is forgotten by her family.
What?
Oh no! Right, okay.
Okay, that was weird.
The radio. The security guard Jerry buys a radio developed by Professor Dayton from a street vendor. The radio talks to him and gives instructions to steal $300,000 from a criminal, kill a couple small-time crook neighbors, and move to another city. When Jerry decides to bring the prostitute Eva with him, he seals his fate when he destroys the radio and has a tragic surprise. So I'm guessing the recurring theme is Professor Dayton makes cool things that get inevitably used by idiots. I can sympathize with that. Maybe I should watch this. Call girl. Rachel's a call girl and finds the truth about the odd teenager. Oh no. The professor's wife. Professor Dayton invites his two best former students to introduce his fiancée, Kathy. Okay.
Okay, that's... Ouch. This is something that Megon sent himself in his own server, and I don't know if it's real or not, but I'm just gonna show it anyway.
Brace yourself, everyone. We're about to poach from a Megon himself.
No, it's fine. He didn't show it on his stream. It's just something.
I suspect he probably found out it was a parody article. Let's see, what's the source on this?
Probably, but it's still really
Steam, you really need to point out what that address is for the site. This is from entiresteamnews.blogspot.com. Totally legit.
Yeah, totally.
Entire Sting News. The news you go to when you want to be interested and also tired.
No, here's the thing. I don't care if it's fake or real, I just like the title.
Well, let's be fair, it is a fun title. Let's see, what was it again?
Florida man bites his brother's penis off after he walks in on his brother having sex with his cousin on his favorite Dragon Ball Z blanket.
This is a funny and classic title that probably isn't going to show up in the actual papers anytime soon.
No, but it's funny. Yeah, no, that's just what I wanted to show.
Oh, well, no, hold on. Bring the article back up. We'll go through it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I'm going to make it more plausible.
No problem.
In a bizarre event that totally happened, that could have only happened in Florida, which is true, a man has bitten his brother's penis off after he found him having sex with his cousin on his favorite Dragon Ball Z blanket. It's still unknown what pissed him off. The incest, the fact that it was in his favorite blanket, or maybe both. Totally happened. Yes, you can believe us. We don't know for sure, and we might never know. But what we do know is what he did was extreme and totally happened.
It totally happened. Yeah, I'm sure it did.
He was arrested yesterday, but said that he regrets nothing, and this way it will never ever happen again. And he's kind of right about that, said this man who totally existed and definitely bit off his brother's dick after finding him screwing his cousin on his favorite Dragon Ball Z blanket.
So that oh god. It's so dumb. Wow, I do have an article that actually did happen.
Well, you know, you never really. Even from the quote-unquote legitimate sources.
That's true. But this one actually did happen.
Scary bear? What scary bear?
Not the Florida man.
Yeah.
The one I'm going to show in soon. If I can, my computer behaves.
I'm feeling a bit like I've been watched. That's probably nothing. Oh well, we've got a good another 10 minutes to fill, so, you know, whatever you've got, we can use it. Otherwise, I'll just be looking up another horrible movie. Oh, okay. Well, I want to share with you the movie that I hate above few others.
That's fine. I just want to share this one thing.
Sure. We're just going to watch the trailer for Jupiter Ascending in the meantime.
We've been told that the birthplace of the human race is Earth, but it's not.
Do you know what this will do to people when they find out the truth?
I think I watched Jupiter Ascending.
I don't think that most people would want to know the truth.
The only thing I could think of was what? What the hell's going on?
Your planet was seeded by brass axe industries roughly 100,000 years ago.
It's one of the most powerful dynasties in the universe. There are 3 primary heirs. The oldest is Belem. He's the one that controls this planet and wants you dead.
I am telling you, I am nobody.
You are royalty.
What about the girl? Still alive. Bring her to me.
You won't believe it's not Snape. I'm sorry, no, Voldemort.
Genes reappear in the
Poor Snape, he doesn't deserve to be drawn with dragon
reincarnation.
Majesty's life is going to change, if she wants it to.
I'm still the same me.
Actually, let's go back for a second. I'm going to stop this and explain to you, for those of you who have avoided this god-awful film, exactly who each character is.
Oh my god. Don't strain yourself.
Suffer as I have suffered.
No matter who or what he is.
These are bounty hunters looking for a woman who has won the intergalactic lottery.
He's after our bounty.
Make sure this is the right one. It's her. Good. Kill her.
Right. That was Channing Tatum who was a soldier who's been genetically engineered with genes from a wolf for some reason. And he sure loves him some royalty by sheer genetic chance. As played by Mila Kunis.
I just need to know what in the hell is going on.
Why a wolf?
I think we might have stumbled into a war with one of the most powerful dynasties in the universe.
Why is this happening to me?
You are royalty, Your Majesty.
You are in.
Yes, by the way, they know she's royalty because bees start freaking out around her because bees are genetically programmed to recognize royalty. Even apparently human royalty? You might know Sean Bean bowing before her. His name was, I don't know, Sean Abibi, and he's part B for reasons.
You are surprised when you find out what I do for a living.
It's not what you do. It's what you are. I want her found, and I want her dead.
And that, of course, is Voldemort. You know who Voldemort is.
Voldemort. That's the Jupiter version of Voldemort.
Pretty much, yes. You won't believe he's not just trying to do a constant 24-hour impersonation of Voldemort. Every line delivered at a whisper. Bring me that.
Yeah, that is one thing I actually absolutely hate about. Normally with artsy movies, I really like artsy movies. Don't get me wrong, but the one thing I hate about artsy movies is the fact there's a trend of they need to whisper their lines, and then something loud really happens. You're just like, fuck you.
Yes, the guy does scream once, and that is funny. But the funniest thing to me is the implication that Mila Kunis's character is somehow going to change things for the better. I mean, even with space bureaucracy on her side, it becomes pretty apparent that she is going to absolutely liquefy a planet or two in order to produce more of the Soylent Green that keeps these space knobs young and fresh. Yes, that's right. They have an elixir of youth, and it's made from people!
Oh, God. It's just, yeah, they just took the concept of Slurm, didn't they?
Slurm is more appealing. They apparently just... All of Earth was made for being a human farm, so all the humans could eventually be liquidated into elixir of youth, so these knobs could maintain their wealth and power, and we're supposed to believe that Mila Kunis' character was somehow going to turn that around at some point.
So we're just cattle?
Yes, basically. But apparently we're a very strange sort of cattle who are unimportant, generic throughout the galaxy, but at the same time have all the plants and animals that they're familiar with, and apparently crossbreed with their soldiers for reasons. Yes.
I don't remember this in the movie, but...
This deserves to be a Nick Cage film. In fact, I think if Nick Cage had been in it, it would have been improved.
Yeah, definitely. The thing, I saw Nick Cage's Mandy. I was like, it's actually pretty good in a weird way.
Oh, look, we have a scream. Yeah! What a villain. What a...
I guess we should do the game Ichabod usually does at the end of the stream, so...
Oh, right. Would you rather, or $1 million, or, isn't that right?
Would you rather, or $1 million, but...
Right. I suppose we should try to honor tradition. I mean, I don't know what Ichabod will do if we fail to.
We can ask the chat. That'll be more interesting than asking each other.
Possibly. Do you have some quandaries to put forth?
Shit.
Now, you suggested this, but I had forgotten entirely. So this quandary is pretty much at your feet. This is your fault, Steam.
Okay. Chat. $1 million. $1 million bot, or would you rather questions to me and Arketer?
Hey, that's a great idea. Let's voice the responsibility onto the audience, like true professionals. Audience? Do you have... Oh, let's see. Jay the Magic Robot has the incredibly daring one. Would you rather kiss a boy or girl? Oh, gee, I don't know.
Both.
It's a both for Steam. I'm going to have to agonize over this. You know, there's really not enough context here, Jay the Magic Robot. When you say boy or girl, do you mean boy or girl in the classic genetic biological sense? And quite frankly, why are you saying boy or girl as opposed to woman or man? Because I am absolutely not going to be kissing some random person's kid. That is right out. Steam, of course, will happily kiss either, but that's right out for me personally.
I don't think he's talking about kids.
Well, he said boy or girl, and I want to clarify these things. Context is very important, Steam. Very, very important, and this is why.
Fine. I think he means adult boys and girls.
So, basement-dwelling man-child or a shrilling, spoiled little princess? Okay, in that context, I'm going with a basement dweller because they're much less likely to sue.
Ah, that's smart.
If you go with a basement dweller, look, even if they're inclined to do a pound me too moment on you, no one's going to care.
Would you rather be in the scenario of Rose Tico's actor or the scenario of the guy who pitched Zilla's existence? That's from Total Madness.
See, you've already explained why. Well, you go ahead and go first, team.
I don't. Was he referencing? I don't know what he's talking about.
The person who made the Godzilla 1990s film happen, the guy who went up to some producers, some investors, and said, hey, we're going to take the Godzilla franchise, but we're going to suck everything good about Godzilla right out of it, and then list Matthew Broderick to make it a star hit. Would you rather be that guy, or would you rather be the actress who played Rose Tico? Or rather, in their scenario.
Godzilla movie. It's more fun.
Really? I suppose so. And there are probably a lot more cocaine.
Yes, yeah. I'm just thinking like, what's more fun for me?
That probably happened at what would be pretty often considered an epic party with hookers and blow everywhere. I see where you're going with that. Not a bad choice. I would rather be in Rose Tico's situation because I'm not going to play the victim and shrivel and go, oh no, people don't like me because I played a bad role. I'm going to get up on Twitter and take some cash out of the bank from my acting gig and go, keep on hating.
Yeah, that's true. Oh god, a lot of them coming in. Would you rather be stung in the dick by a wasp or have it ripped off by a shark?
I don't think you can answer that one, Steam. Or do you have a revolution to make on this episode? Do you have something to tell us, Steam?
With my non-existent dick, I would say have the shark rip it off. I mean, it's not like I'm missing anything.
I would go for the wasp sting myself because there's a very good chance it would still be around afterwards. It would hurt like hell, be absolutely miserable. I'll go for the wasp stream. Now, we were asked, would you rather kiss an NPC or a feminist? To which I have to ask, what's the difference? Look, you just asked me, would you rather kiss someone who doesn't think for themselves, or someone who doesn't think for themselves.
The
gender isn't even certain.
I know.
If it's a male feminist, though, it's especially out because they're probably dangerous.
I know the difference. I know the difference. The NPC had less diseases.
A big if. If they're a male feminist, they might be especially pure. Why, they might even still be a virgin. Or they might, I don't know, gut you and try to make you into a fashionable woman's suit.
Oh no. But yeah, I would kill an NPC. But simply because they have less diseases and they probably have better hygiene.
Also, maybe if they're not a feminist NPC, slightly less likely to pound me to you.
Okay. I guess one more. $1 million, but you must be directly responsible for the deaths of at least three popular movie series and be known for that. Yeah, okay.
Arketer Labs, by the way. This, not really a diamond per se. It's a logo. Look, it matches up with everything else going on around here. Especially the spinning logo that should be somewhere. You can find it. It's like Where's Waldo, but a spinning logo. Let's see, where was I? Oh, yes. Clarify, the sting would be in the glands and it would swell up several times. Yes, extremely painful indeed, but with medical treatment, probably wouldn't fall off. Probably. So, yes, I would still opt for the sting as opposed to just being straight up neutered by a shark.
But I would take the $1 million to kill three popular movie series, and I know exactly the movie series I want dead.
Same, yes. If I could take $1 million and also be responsible for the death of the Twilight films, or 50 Shades of Grey films, I could take credit for killing those and $1 million. I don't see any downsides, and those were popular with someone out there.
Hell yeah. I would kill the Marvel franchise.
My left Arketer. Not catching that one so well. Oh, you know what? We've gone through just about everything here. I'm afraid we are starting to run low on time. At least I am. Before we start, wait. Here's my token question: who'd win a fight to the death, Gary Busey or Andy Dick? Gary Busey, no doubt. Or, no, it could be a surprise win from Andy Dick. I suppose it depends on how high he is at the time. Of course, the same could go for Gary Busey. I would think he would fight more fiercely still. Right, and finally, where were we? Oh yes, plugging, non-sexual plugging, Steam.
Oh, non-sexual plugging. I'm Miss Steam. I exist sometimes, and we had to do this last minute. So.
Yes, no links have been prepared whatsoever. In fact, I wasn't able to dictate the stream title or anything in the description. So, if you're looking for me after this chance meeting, you can just do a YouTube search for Arketer. There are 2 channels featuring me personally. If you go to the channel that has the belly dancing, that's not me. I don't want anyone contacting me later saying, I love doing the belly dancing vig. Not me. And secondly, just look for the canned video content, Director Arketer, or Arketer Labs, I think it was. And the other one is Director Arketer Live, the channel I'm using to run this thing. Also, I'd like to recommend several other creators out there, like Direwolf Media, who has recently recruited me to do shows on their channel. And if you're looking for them, Direwolf Media Clyde's Soapbox is the channel that I've most commonly gone out on, although they apparently string on damn near everything, so I have really no idea where I'm turning up these days. It's wild.
Yeah, I have to keep an eye on Discord just to get your
almost certainly
legal streams.
Yeah. Right. Let's see. Oh, yes. There's been a lot of interest in my lab coat. If you really want this lab coat, it is in the Howie style, not the garbage modern lab coat that just sort of buttons up and it's thin white fabric. So, it's standard, it's professional, it's boring as all hell. Go for the Howie style coat. You know, like Sophane did on Halloween, when he went as me, apparently 2 years straight. And I thought he hated me. Amazing. He even has the top hat, and I have no idea how he knows I have a top hat.
Wait, he, that's where my top hat went.
Oh. Well, I do. I'm not going to get that out quite now. Let's see, Arketer, are you top hats and champagne? You got me, right-wing BDSM guy. I'm actually top hats and champagne. I'll bring in an alter ego. This channel, the stream, the set, it's all a elaborate facade. I thought it was going to go on for much longer. But I just had to guest host for Ichabod. It's all over, Steam. They knew who I really am now.
Ah, man. Does this mean I have to treat you with respect?
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna shake that one off. I do feel like I'm being watched. Let's see. How are we doing on this scene? Fuck. If you'll excuse me, I really need to bring this down. Nice meeting you all. Please check out the Steam and Ichabod Citrus Quest. Thank you, Citrus Quest Bug, for letting me host entirely of your free will. Until next time, also the progress continues. Bye!
Oh god, kill the fire.